On this episode of the Carolina Sports Guy, it's official, folks. Montreal did not match. Jesperi Kotkaniemi is a member of the Carolina Hurricanes. Hey, Canadian fans, don't be so butthurt. It's okay. Before we get into today's content, make sure you subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. Pound that like button. Hit that bell notification and be notified of future videos on the Carolina Hurricanes, Carolina Panthers, Charlotte Hornets, and major college sports in both North and South Carolina. And folks, leave me some comments. I love the dialogue. Okay, folks. Jesperi Kotkaniemi, and I hope I'm saying his name right. I can say it, but the more I get away from hearing it, I mess it up. So Canadian fans, don't butcher me on that. I want to look at him for a minute because I guess the big deal was Carolina, trying to get a guy like Eichel, or maybe trying to, the guy's name escapes me right now, for St. Louis, that they're dangling out there. And I'll put it in the comments below. It's just skipped my mind. Yeah, we needed another surefire guy. And the money, we really didn't have a lot of the money, especially giving Svechnikov the money. I think we did the right thing by not offering Hamilton the money he was demanding. We tried to make some key deals. No, I think our defense is taking a step back, but not much. We got some youth coming up, but I feel like we're right there where we were, especially get Ethan Bear from Edmonton. Shout out to my Edmonton Oilers friends because they've been really good commenting. And I think our goalie situation, a lot of people didn't understand about letting our goalie go, or all three of our goalies go, especially the young man. And I'm not going to say his name because I know people get a little offended because we let him go. But bringing in some guys, but I think it's kind of a split decision. It could backfire in Carolina's face. And at the same time, I feel that our goalie play was what hampered us in the playoffs. Our defense is good, our offense is great, but our goalie's play really is what kept us from being elite, in my opinion. So I look at this, folks, and, Montreal knew they weren't going to match it. They weren't going to overpay. This is a number 3 overall pick in the 2018 entry draft, and Montreal had big plans for him. Now, can they replace him this year? I don't think so. And Montreal's got some draft picks, but one thing I've heard a lot of Montreal fans say is we gave up way too much. We overpaid. Well, yeah, and we overpaid for 1 year. And maybe after the 1 year, it don't work out, and we let him go. And we just cut our losses. And people say, well, that was dumb. You lost these draft picks. Well, the problem is we've acquired and accumulated and hit spot on for the most part in our draft picks. Go back and look at the last 3, 4, 5 draft picks, folks. Last 3 or 4, 5 draft years, I should say. A lot of the prognosticators and the hockey analysts said Carolina has won the day. Many of them had Carolina as number 1, 2, or 3 as far as winners in these drafts the last 4 or 5 years. We've always dominated, come away well with extra picks, gotten great players late in the draft that should have went earlier, had some really good draft picks that played well, were better than where they were picked at, and we've just kind of dominated. And I seen such a logjam because we've lost players like Geekie. We had to let other players go because we've got high-end talent we've had to pay. Losing a guy like McGinn to Pittsburgh hurt. Letting Warren Foegele go. We couldn't pay everybody. And we've got some good youth, especially at the forward position, Suzuki and other guys coming up, moving forward, Jarvis. Just guys that are going to probably, before, if not this year, next year, come in and do some minutes, and we're going to have to make room for them. Some of these veterans who are making a lot of money, or guys maybe on a 1 or 2 year contract, are going to be pushed out the door. Because if you don't stay young and fresh, you get old and stale. And so I believe it was time to get a guy that we could put on the first 2 lines. And I kind of looked at the first line is set with Aho in the center, and Svechnikov on one wing, and Teravainen on the other. And then the second line is where I really see us picking things up, is where Vinny Trochek is going to play the center line with Marty Necas, who I think is going to have a breakout stellar year. And this is where we're going to put Jesperi Kotkaniemi. We're going to put him on this line, and I think he's going to excel. Third line's getting a little older. We got Jordan Staal playing the center. Jesper Fast will probably be on the wing, and he's looked good at times. And Nino Niederreiter. And you can't not denounce him for what he does because he's still a valuable player. And then I think it's the fourth line where we've taken a step down a little bit. But we got Lorentz on one wing, and I think we've liked him better than Geekie. And I think we liked him better than some other players. We got Martinook coming back, plays really good, clean him on the fourth line. But Stepan, I don't know how good he's going to be in the center. We're going to have to wait and see. Maybe one of the young guys will come up and take that spot. But we trade this pick away. Well, I didn't say trade it. We trade these 2 picks away, a first and a third, to Montreal. And if we do well and excel this year, and Kotkaniemi does well with this team, and we go far in the playoffs, it's going to be a late first-round pick. So losing a guy who's not going to make the squad or not play in the NHL for 3 or 4 years, we'll take that chance now because we got other youth. And what does Montreal do? I'll give them credit. They did the smart thing. They traded some picks away already, have acquired Christian Dvorak from Arizona to help them out. Now, is it going to replace Kotkaniemi's what he did? I don't think so. But to my Montreal fans, I got a lot of hate. And I got a lot of people looking at the owner for the Hurricanes, saying how dumb he was, and say it was really Bush League, and calling him just, trading barbs, and that the guy's playing by a different set of rules. Well, he is. And he's just a different style of owner. And I think that, that could blow up in his face. But at the same time, I think they make some moves and do some things, just like when we took the player. I'm trying to think of the team from Toronto. Was Marlowe? We took him off of them and traded him to San Jose. Let him go to San Jose, and we ended up getting the first-round draft pick for him. We turned that around in the draft capital and used that. So I know Montreal is a little butthurt by it, and I know the fans make a lot of sense. It could blow up in Carolina's face. It's a one-year deal. Give them the draft capital. We've acquired so much talent in draft capital, and I believe we've got to start cashing that in, trading up to get better players, or start utilizing some of this youth. Or you got such a logjam, folks, you end up losing guys in the system that don't develop, or you lose them for nothing, and then they go somewhere else and get better. The time is now, and that's why I think Kotkaniemi is ready to play for Carolina, play on the line. And if he does well and develops well and plays well, Montreal, it was well worth it, even if we did overpay. So what do you folks think of this video? Do you think we overpaid? Do you think Montreal got over on us? Or do you like the pick? Leave me some comments. Pound that like button. Please, folks, with those comments, I love them. I love the dialogue on this video. It really was good with the Montreal fans. Make sure you subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. And hit that bell notification and be notified of future content like this. We'll see you next time on another edition